Hello, gorgeous Virgo family, and welcome to September 2020. We are here in the heart of Virgo season, and it feels so good to be here. I love this energy. This is my moon sign, so I'm always at home here, and I feel very cozy in Virgo energy. And as I was feeling through the Virgo vibe, interesting themes came up for me. There's a lot of this sense that it's time to move on. And, that's generally a collective thing. September is a time to move on. It's, sometimes we're dealing with past linkages, right? We're dealing with the past. We're dealing with who we've been. We're dealing with, how to heal things or replaying things or learning from the past. And this month is a little bit more like, okay, we know we've been through some things, but it's time to be visionary. And visionary in a really, I think, beautiful way. One of the first notes that came up for me for Virgo was that, often people tease, in pop culture astrology, Virgos for being a little controlling. And I think we can all agree that there are moments when it's like, I want to have things in order. I want to do things well. I want to make sure it happens. I want to make sure I'm there at the seat at the table, making sure it's happening. But there's a deeper part of Virgo energy. And this is where I think this Virgo season, and this year specifically with this, is that this is really tapping into the deeper spiritual form of Virgo energy, which has to do with wholeness, completeness, alignment, devotion, showing up to the table of our own hearts in a really deep and meaningful way. And that's being asked of us. And one of the first things that we have to do in order to fully show up whole in this moment now is to be present and not grappling over the past or feeling like we're still in the past, right? And so there's an invitation here. Now, there's some really powerful transits that are working with you, Virgo, specifically. And the big one, the big ticket item for September and the rest of 2020 is Mars retrograde. This is one of those things that you're going to be seeing brought up a lot all around because it's a big retrograde. And this one is happening in Aries, in Mars's home sign of Aries. And especially if you're Virgo rising, this is going to be happening in your 8th house of transformation. But regardless, if you have Virgo energy, there's going to be an element here of shedding a skin, of completely forming a new identity, of getting used to who you are now, who you are becoming moving forward. And, the interesting thing about when we change and transform, we think we already know who we're supposed to be. We think we already have the checklist. We've already vision boarded it. We've already understood exactly what it is. But often when we start to meet the newest version of ourselves, there are things and details and aspects of it that we didn't even know we're going to come in and be a big, beautiful, bountiful part of our lives. And this month is going to be welcoming in that kind of perspective shift for you all. So just a heads up, not only is Mars going to be doing that work with you the rest of 2020, so you have some time to work with it. You're not being expected here to transform in 2 minutes and be done. You do have some time to reset. But I do think that September is going to be a great time for that reset, that shift. We have a full moon in your opposite sign of Pisces, illuminating how you relate, how you connect. We have a new moon in your sign on the 17th, which is a restart energy. For those of you with a birthday on a new moon, a beautiful time of rebirth. Jupiter and Saturn are both going to be going direct this month in Capricorn, fellow earth sign, 5th house, and they are starting to go direct and closing out the loop of their work in Capricorn over the next few months. So this is a month where there's some big, juicy energy here. I'm also a huge fan of the Equinox. It's a great time of rebalancing. So as your season closes out and we step into Libra, we step into your 2nd house, we step into a place of deep abundance, self-love, self-worth. This is a wonderful time to rebalance, to nurture yourself in. And remember that, like I said, this is a very spiritual month. Spiritual devotion is a huge theme this month. And I think Virgos especially, where you're devoting your energy. 2 of Pentacles, speaking of where you're devoting your energy, is going to be coming up as a theme. And I think that's a really important aspect of our year, our month every time, right? It's we're always transforming. No wave is the same, right? No river is the same. It's that phrase, what is it? A man can't step in the same river twice. The same man can't step in the same river twice, right? It's a great time to just check in. Where are you finding that things are serving you, and where are they no longer serving you? Oh, 7 of Cups. Yes. Oh, we have some assessment energy going on here, Virgos. And like I said, so much of the energy this month is challenging notions of control, challenging notions of holding on to the past, challenging anything that just can't come along with you at this point in this time of rebirth and this time of change. 10 of Pentacles. Ooh, I love that so much, because here's the thing too with this September, and especially with Virgos, because collectively we're all getting into this devotional state, but because this is your birthday season, because this is your like new beginnings, rebirth energy, you're really riding on this. We are getting set up. We're really deciding, okay, how do we want to make the future look for ourselves on the individual and collective levels? King of Wands. Ooh. And that is requiring us to really do a deep self-assessment of what it is we want to bring along with us. And I think this is such, 4 of Cups. I think this is such a great time for that. So let's talk through this, because right away, Virgo, I think with that full moon in Pisces and with the Mars retrograde beginning on September 9th, and also actually Venus is going to be in Leo in your 12th house. So you got a lot of energy working behind the scenes here, kind of taking us on a deep dive internal. Right away though, you've got some deep assessment energy going on here. These cards to me have everything to do with what you actually want to put in your pack. If we're all playing the Fool, which that card isn't here right now, but if we're all going to be the Fool in life, right? And the Fool has his little satchel over his shoulder, and that's all he's got with him in the world, right? What are we really going to put in that bag? We want to travel light, right? We want to travel light. And that's not just about stuff. It's really about routines, ideas, situations, what have you. And these two are really asking that question at a really profound level. They're saying, really, what do you really want to take with you at this time? What is really truly you, and what are you just saying yes to because you want to make everybody happy, because you want to make sure you're doing the utmost to be making sure that you don't have to face up to guilt around not doing enough, not being enough, feeling like you have to always be pushing yourself in order to be worthy of existing in this world. In order to be worthy of having a life in this world, maybe you're not working hard enough. Maybe you're not trying hard enough. Maybe you haven't put enough grit and sweat and tears into that project or that person, and it's just not something that's filling you up, right? Maybe it's okay to not pick up every single cup, pick up every single pentacle, right? So there is a really deep questioning here. And I think this is beautiful, once again, because there is no requirement that says you have to bring everything, that you have to pick every cup and go through every single battle, that you have to wear every single mask and carry every single burden. That is not a requirement for you to be a full person. In fact, I would say it's kind of the opposite. It's that you want to pick up things that are really authentic to you, because then when you do the things in the world, when you connect with people, when you move through the world, you actually get to experience the fullness of the experience, right? So there's a big thing going on here with that. And once again, this is a great time to make peace with your past, make peace with who you've been, make peace with even the last 6 months if it has been really frustrating and painful and confusing and overwhelming, and there's been a lot of transformation and a lot of questioning and a lot of little deaths of who we've been. There's been a lot of that going on, and we've all experienced that in different ways. This is a beautiful time to make peace with that and sort through it on the kind of deep spiritual level and not just on the practical. Now, here's the thing. There's a reason that message is coming up, because you look at the next 2 cards. I mean, I can't be making this up, right? These are such beautiful energies of abundance, of love, of connection, of vision, of self-mastery, of focus, right? These are long-term cards. These are long-term energetic cards that have everything to do with what you're building, what you're mastering, being at the helm of your own ship. And this is where that theme that I briefly touched on for a moment of September being the beginning of really getting devoted and serious about our connection to ourselves, our connection to divine, our connection to what we want to build in the coming months and years. And that really does require, and this is where that Virgo self-discipline, this is where you're wanting to put it. Where you're wanting to put it is in this spiritual, deep connected, just choosing to choose this path of what you want to build, right? That is so powerful. And the thing is, you're tapping into that energy this month, but it does require that you have to do a little self-assessment and not pick everything up. It's not a requirement. Remember that. It's actually a requirement to get here. We've got to let something go. Now, you are being invited into some really beautiful things, and you may start to see ripples of that during September. Don't let Mars retrograde fool you into thinking that you're not going to do anything for the rest of 2020 or that we're all going to stand still. Mars retrograde is going to help us do things in a much more authentic way because we aren't just going to be forcing, right? And so it's a really powerful time. Now, King of Wands, maybe some of you have a fire sign around you. Maybe you do. I'm sure some of you definitely do. You can also see this though. This is so much about sovereignty. This is so much about feeling empowered and feeling visionary and feeling creative in your empowerment, being able to see long range, being able to see how you want to take action in the world and really feeling it, really feeling the deep embodied empowerment of the King of Wands. This is powerful energy. This is potent creative energy. This is the kind of energy you work with when you're really wanting to create something beautiful in life. And you're just tapped into it. You're not self-doubting, you're not questioning, you're not overanalyzing, you're in it, right? And there is something you are anchoring in here that has to do with your creative process, that has to do with what you're building next. And it's huge. Now, here's the thing. Four of Cups does come in here. And this is an interesting card. This is one of my favorite energies. It really is, because this is telling me that a lot's going to happen this month, and quite good things are going to be popping in for you, and you're going to be starting to notice that things are happening, things are shifting, things are making more sense this month. That is something that will occur incrementally throughout the month of September. There's also this note. You're getting prepared for some really rich, long-term things, right? In that 10 of Pentacles. And yeah, you may not see every single pentacle from that 10 of Pentacles this month, but you got to choose to turn your heart toward it and be okay in the moments of peace around this preparation, around this time of devotion, around this time of internal, deep connection and source, right? Whew, that is powerful stuff. I love Four of Cups because what it tells me is you're getting your ducks in a row. And the mistake we often make with Four of Cups energy is we think, well, that's the boring part. It's boring to be preparing and I'm always getting ready and nothing's happening. And why am I always in the getting ready phase? The getting ready phase is where it's actually interesting. This is where we can apply that devotional energy. This is where we can apply that spiritual energy. This is where we can really dive into life. And honestly, the more you can relax into it and enjoy just being in this September process, oh my gosh, the easier it's going to be to choose that cup, to pick that cup up, for that cup to come sweeping in. So there's a reminder here that stay in the process. You don't need to skip ahead. Also, to let go, like I said. I always find the time of equinox, your time, your season closes out with the equinox every year, which is so beautiful. It's a time in the world where day and night are equalizing. There's a sense of the scales, just like Libra season brings in. And this is a beautiful time to rebalance, to find harmony, to find understanding with who we are now and move forward. And during this season of change with Mars retrograde, with the equinox, and with planets starting to go direct in other parts of the sky, this is a beautiful time to invoke some deep wisdom and to get really deep into our practices. So I have an invocation for this time for you to take with you for September, for this beautiful Virgo season, this powerful, potent, spiritual Virgo season. And here it is. May I listen to the deep knowing in the coming season. May I trust my changing shape. May I lean into new ways of moving through the world. May doors open wide for me. May I feel the gentle breeze flow as I float down the river of life and hear my inner voice whispering to me. Like I said, you're going to start to notice you're getting acquainted with a new version of yourself, one that you didn't pre-plan, one that in some ways has elements that you just didn't know you even wanted in previous years. So there's an element of surprise here, and there's an element of needing to be open to who you're becoming and to be relaxed in that. But I think this is a really powerful month. I'm so excited to see what it brings. I will be going so deep on Mars retrograde over on Patreon. That is where we're going to be doing a lot of our specific work on Mars. So if you're looking for some extra support, I would love to see you over there. It's a beautiful community of like-minded souls, all working together, sharing their stories and visions. It's a beautiful space. You can also find me on my Instagram and my website. I'll leave the links below. And of course, you can find PinkLune's gorgeous jewelry on her Etsy shop. I will see you all so soon. Have a blessed and beautiful Virgo season. I'm going to be enjoying every moment of it with you. And I will talk to you in October for more transformational conversations. Sending you all my love.